Yesterday I finished chapter 11 and chapter 12, but after I finished writing yesterday, I was thinking about my chapter 12 and I just felt it wasn't enough. Even though I wrote everything that was in the plan, I felt like it was too short and didn't go into enough detail. So instead of starting with chapter 13 right now, I'm going to continue chapter 12 and add in some more story. It's a very important chapter and I think more needs to be done, especially because the previous chapter, from the point of view of that same character, Louise, was a very long chapter, but I actually didn't include everything that was in the detailed plan because the chapter was getting long and the main story beats were hit. However, there are some things that I wanted to introduce in that chapter that I didn't, that I think I can introduce in this chapter, which is her second point of view chapter, but within the context of what is happening in this chapter. In the plan for the previous chapter, there's a scene where Louise and Kiki, another character, go to the room that they're sharing. And it's the first time that Louise sees this room. Well, that didn't happen in the previous chapter, but I'm going to put it in this chapter. But like I said, it's a different context, so it will happen slightly differently. So yeah. One thing that's really important for me in this story is that the settlement is so small, and in the settlement, everyone knows everyone. So I am trying to make the reader feel like that as well. So I've spoken about it before, but I'm constantly introducing new characters by name, bit by bit. So my hope is that the reader eventually, by the end, whenever I mention someone, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. Just the same way if you live in a really small village or town, you know everyone. At the same time, I'm being careful to make sure I repeat characters. Characters turn up in different chapters, interacting with different people. It's a balancing act. For example, Louise, one of my main characters, is going to where she's going to be staying. She's going to be sharing a home with 3 other women. One is Kiki, who's been introduced. So the other 2, I'm deciding to have one of them be a new character and one of them be a character I've mentioned before. One will be called Avisha. She is someone who's been mentioned before. She hasn't had a big role. She was just mentioned in passing in one of Arjuna's chapters, one of my point of view chapters. But she will be one of the roommates as well as a new character. So I'm going to create that new character now. We learn things by repetition, right? At least for me, I know that I learn things by repetition. It's the best way. Just repeating. That's how I became good. Well, good. That's how I became good at writing. That's how I'm learning making videos. The reason why I'm making so many videos a week at the moment is to get that repetition in. And I'm building my book in the same way. I want the readers to start to recognize people's names, even if they're not main characters, they're just in the background, they're background characters, but everyone has a story, everyone has a life in the settlement. I really want the reader to feel like that. So it's almost similar to language learning. You know how people will use flashcards and they'll learn a new word and then they'll have a flashcard and they'll, on the first day, they'll see it. Then the second day, they'll repeat it. Then the third day, they'll repeat it. Then they'll skip a day. And then on the 5th day, skip a day on the 7th day. Then on the 9th day. Then on the 12th day. Then on the 15th day. And spaced repetition, that's how I'm treating my characters in a way. So the reader learns who they are over time. These are the background characters. Because also, if I do continue this as a series, which I'm thinking I do want to because I'm really enjoying writing this and writing in this world and writing these characters, then the background characters may become main characters at different points. In fact, I will make it that way. Different characters are relevant for different storylines. One of the things I want to do in editing is add more characters into certain storylines because, for example, there are a lot of scenes that are in the clinic. However, the Minister of Health, who is in charge of the clinic, I haven't really written her into many scenes. So I'm aware of it now. So from now on, I'm going to start writing her in. But in editing, I'm going to go through the beginning again and put her where it's relevant. It's really important for me that this settlement feels lived in. You keep seeing the same characters around and around everywhere throughout the different intersecting storylines. Character created. Okay, so from here on out, I don't have anything in my plan. I'm just going straight from the brain to the draft without the intermediary of the detailed plan. Well, the multiple levels of plan that I like to do. So we'll see how it goes. I think I have to change this also because I don't think in chapter 12, I don't think I got it quite right. Yeah, I need to work on this chapter even more than I thought I did. Yeah, so I added and redid chapter 12 a bit, and I think it's much better now. My main issue was Louise wasn't active enough in terms of within the plot. She was very passive, and I needed her to be more active because it fits her character. And I had Kiki doing things that were out of character for her. So I had to reshuffle some of what each character did, Louise and Kiki, in this chapter. But it works a lot better now. I'm happy. And now chapter 12 is truly finished. And chapter 13 and day 4, here I come. AA Watson out.